Welcome to Zamp's podcast. I have Amit and Raghav with me, founders of Zamp. Some of the themes we'll be covering today is Zamp's background, the vision that we have, the product, what our customers are, who our customers are, and what the future looks like for us. Um, just to start off, Raghav, you were just 18 when Zamp started. And if I can say so, Amit, you're old enough to be his father. So how did this duo come together?
Yeah, so I was in school when I was thinking about this, and I had two options. Like I could go to college in the US, and the second option was join Zamp as an intern. At that time, Zamp was I think 2 3 weeks old, so it was not very old, and I had met Amit through a mutual connect, and I think I just wanted to optimize how quickly I can learn and how much I can learn. And I think for me, it was very clear that working with the caliber of the team that we were putting together here at Zamp, I would learn a lot faster and I'd learn a lot more than I would in college. So I joined Zamp as an intern, and I was just working on building the product. And I think credit to the culture that Amit had, like put in place in Zamp, that it was really like freedom and responsibility. You can take up any challenge, and you can take up any problem statement and work on it, and no one's going to question you, and no one's going to say this is your role. You can basically do what you think is the most important for the company at that time. And I think that's gave me the freedom to work on good problem statements, and yeah, that's how it came about.
Yeah, no, to add to that, I mean, we were lucky we got connected by a common friend. Prior to starting Zamp, I was at Sequoia Capital. I was an investor at Sequoia Capital, and before that, I was heading Uber first in India and then Asia Pacific, and then in the US for about 20 years. 20 years before that. When we started, somebody connected us, and my first interview was actually Raghav's father interviewing me, checking that, hey, where is my son, or whom is my son working with, and is the person good, is the company good? So fortunately, I passed that interview, and we've had a great journey since then. Another funny incident is we were at a customer site in Dubai. We'd gone to a bank, and I knew the person we were meeting. He's like, "Hi, Ahmed, good to meet you. Is this your son?" I was like, "No, but I'm old enough to be his father." So yes, we are not a very likely co-founder duo, but we were fortunate to have met, and it's been an amazing 3 years. And we're here to build a company that spans decades and is an enduring company.
Zamp is a company that's working with some of the biggest names in tech: Uber, Doordash, Stripe, Eli Lilly. Let's start simple. What does Zamp do?
So, at the core of what we want to do, like, with Zamp is comes from a belief of we as humanity, we're still very early as a civilization, and that's hard for us to register because, we are the most modern we've ever been, is our belief. But if you think about it in terms of universe scale, we're a small planet in terms of like thousands of galaxies and stars. And I think that, like, I have a fundamental belief that we're still like super early, almost like in the stone age as a civilization. So as you think about how you can progress faster and progress more as a civilization, we need all humans to be solving the best problems there are, and the hardest problems there are. So however, today, if you look at all the work being done, we have some amazing companies out there, that solve incredible problems. However, at all of these companies, there are tens of thousands of people, and most of the time, a bulk of those people, if like maybe majority of those people, are often doing manual, repetitive, and operational work, which means that a lot of like humans who could be solving novel problems that push humanity forward are stuck doing manual and operational work. So at the core of what we want to change is enable all of humanity to be solving novel problems so that we all can progress, much faster as a civilization.
Anything you want to add to that, Amit?
Yeah, no, I think we are in the one of the most exciting times of our lifetimes, and probably the time which is the biggest technological shift of our lifetimes. We will be sitting here in a few years, maybe 5 years from now, and we look back at 2025 and say we were living in such an archaic world. Uh, the enterprise or the workforce of today, assume there's an organization of 10,000 people, 10,000 human workforce. The organization of tomorrow will be a ratio of 100 to 1, 100 agentic digital employees to one human employee. So 100 human workforce will almost be a 10,000 total workforce because you've got a 1 to 100 ratio of humans to agentic. Now, take that and imagine the possibilities of what could be done. When that number goes from not just a 1 to 100, what if it could go to 1 to 1,000, 1 to 10,000? The possibilities of what somebody can do, small teams can do, communities can do, expands exponentially. And that's the world that we are living in. So the future of where the world will be fundamentally different from where we are today. And it'll enable us as companies, as humanity, to do things that were not even remotely possible before.
So, I mean, just to add on to that, I mean, I think there's thousands of companies building like in the agentic AI space, right? So, how does Zamp stand out amongst all of this?
Yeah, I think for us, what's most important is, what our customers want and, whether our product is solving the core problem that they have or not. We're not too focused on the rest of the market. And, what our customers are telling us, and, we talk to CEOs of large global enterprises, and, they are eager to transform their entire company. They want to be growing faster. They want to be attacking more problem statements. They want to be, transforming their entire org. However, today, nothing's actually happening in terms of they feel like, sure, in one process you made like 10% optimization. And that's where the market is at, right? When, that doesn't excite our customers as much as, where they see the potential of this technology to be. So, what we're doing that's fundamentally different, is solely on our product. We are not building, like an AI platform that most companies out there are building. We are building digital employees that are basically indistinguishable from human employees. You can talk to them, on a Zoom call. You can interact with them. You can ask questions on Slack. And the way that's fundamentally different is today, as people think about, let me automate this, they'll go on some platform and they'll build a workflow. However, on our product, it's like both of us were on a Zoom call and I can teach you the process. I can share my screen and say, this is what I want to be done. You'll ask follow-up questions. And, that's how humans interact and that's how people can interact with our product, which is a digital employee and not an AI platform. So that's at the core of, how Zamp is different.
I think the other part to add to what Raghav said is what will very quickly evolve to is the concept of a company brain and real-time insights and knowledge. As we have digital employees that are doing various processes or tasks, what starts to happen is context that was in somebody's mind now starts becoming documented as a constitution or the knowledge base of the agent. You put that together along with structured and unstructured data, and now you've got a company brain that is able to make decisions instantaneously. And that's what we are building. How do we build digital employees, but over time a company brain that enables real-time insights that were not possible earlier because context was in somebody's mind. Somebody left an organization, it was not documented, and hence you were not making decisions optimally. To prove that point, right, we were on a call again with the chief compliance officer of a big bank, and after we demoed the product, the first reaction was, "I don't believe you." I was like, "Okay, help me understand what you don't believe." And she was like, "This is too good to be true. I don't believe this is actually working in the way that you're telling me." And that's an easier problem to solve than anything else because that is how things will change. You have digital employees that you train just like you would train a human person that is intelligent, that learns, that can think, that can reason, that can make decisions, that documents everything that it does. Multiple of these that are doing different activities. All of them combined together, that gives you company intelligence and a company brain that in a very short time will lead to the concept of autonomous companies. We will have companies that are autonomous, driven by agents. And that's not decades out, that's a few years out. So that's the future that we are heading to. And what we are enabling is a platform to build digital employees across multiple areas, finance, operations, other areas, and build a company brain that will ultimately lead to an autonomous organization very, very quickly.
Could you give me like a concrete example of how this would actually work for your customers like Amgen or Eli Lilly?
Yeah, so all of these large companies, they have a lot of different processes that are manual and operational. Several in the finance space, like invoice processing. For banks, they have compliance, chargeback, legal document reviews, and getting insights from contracts. So there can be a lot of manual and operational work that depends on the kind of companies. What our customers are doing with our product is, they're hiring these digital employees, and they're teaching the digital employee the work that was being done by teams manually before, and the agent and the digital employee is able to automate where like 90 plus percentage of the work end to end automatically. It's able to solve the problem, it's able to communicate with stakeholders, so it's able to effectively do all the manual and operational work end to end.
I think a question that many may ask is, how do we deal with all the jobs that are going to be lost in the process?
It's a good question, right? And it's a question we get asked every day. I think there are a few ways to think about that and what the future could entail, right? And we'll see how the future plays out, right? One is, this is not the first revolution that we've gone through as humanity, right? As you look at all the past revolutions across agricultural, scientific, industrial, technological, every time humanity has adapted and productivity has increased. We are hopeful that that's the case here as well, where the productivity of what we can do and solve the most complex problems, cure cancer, other complex problems that have not been solved today can be cured because the productivity of humanity has suddenly increased by 10x, 100x, 1000x. So that's kind of the hope of where we'll be. I think the kind of jobs will change. And it is for up to us as individuals, as enterprises, as countries to adapt and evolve the kind of work that is being done. How do we focus on more creative work? How do we become more productive and use digital employees for some of the work that we might have been doing because that capability was not possible earlier using traditional, RPA or other automation, which is very rules-based. So we've been equipped with technology that is a digital employee, intelligent, one that thinks and reasons. How do we increase our productivity as companies and organizations? And we are hopeful that this revolution will be similar to every other massive revolution that humanity has gone through and survived.
Right. So I think just to wrap it up, where do you see this going? What does the next 12 to 18 months look like for Zamp? What's exciting you all? What's happening?
Yeah, so I feel that the entire team is extremely excited, and we're more excited than we've ever been. And I think there are three core aspects to why that is. One, I think we have a very, very strong team. We have what we believe one of the world's best teams, and we will build. This team can move mountains. So that's at the start of it. And I think the two other things are the technology today is so powerful that that we can build something truly innovative and something that's never been built before. So for all of us builders, like what makes us happy is just building something that's truly innovative and truly game changing, right? So we feel like we can build a product that changes the course of humanity. And I think that's, having that scale of impact really excites all of us. And the third is, all the customers we're working with and the market demand, right? We're working with some of the world's largest and, best companies. The excitement from customers is incredible. the reaction when they see our product, as Amit was talking about, is incredible. A lot of them, stand in disbelief as they look at what's possible. So just the excitement from the customers and, the kind of customers we're working with, and all three of those aspects make it super exciting to be building in this journey.
And maybe the only other point I'd add is we are backed by the world's best investors. We're backed by Sequoia Capital, now Peak 15, and several angel investors who are CEOs of Fortune 500 public companies. So an amazing customer base, best enterprises in the world, backed by some of the best investors. We have a team that we believe is one of the best in the world, and we are innovating at a pace that is at rocket ship speed. And we are continuing to innovate and even reduce the cycle of our iteration and learning time over every successive iteration. And we are here to build an enduring company that spans decades, and we should be here 30, 40 years out, compounding at 30, 40% year on year, but build an enduring company that has changed humanity, that has changed civilization.
Exciting, super exciting. Thank you for talking to me. I had a great time.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.